Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. I am absolutely delighted to welcome Dog Tired in the building. So we've Luke on guitars, Keith on drums, Chris on vocals, and Barry on bass. Hey! Fresh out, I'd say, from their trip to Galway. Silence. Jesus, come on.
It's definitely not fresh.
Fresh.
How did it go?
Galway was class last night. Amazing crowd. Never played Sally Long's before, so it was banging.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
didn't? Okay.
So we played the Cellar before a couple of years ago, but it was brilliant to be in Sally Long's playing there. So
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Big crowd?
Yeah, it was actually really good. Like,
Yeah.
really, really good.
It was good to see as well. Like we haven't been to Ireland in 2 years, but playing the new album and people were singing the lyrics.
Yeah.
And they're like,
that's it.
And
that was my favourite one. Can you play this one off
Yeah.
the new album?
And that's the fucking Irish crowd feel, I'd say.
If you
Totally, like,
if you don't come back to a place in a while, you expect it to kind of be like it'll die off. Like you're kind of people it's interest in you, but then people were coming in with our t-shirts on, and that was great.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
of course, did you meet up with the Slug lads?
yeah, we were staying
Tell
with
them I said
Sean.
hello.
yeah. But we did. Oh, yeah.
Nice one. Nice
I
one.
mean, Sean booked the gig
Okay.
from Tent on Slug, so we ended up in traditional Galway fashion getting absolutely steaming.
Yeah,
he
we brought
looks
back
actually
fast.
I told the man
Was
it's a great guy.
Ronan and Michal there as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ronan was there.
Ronan only had one beer. No, he didn't. He got absolutely steaming.
Did you hear about the last time they played here? I bet you didn't in
No.
Spailpin. Yeah, they were playing here for Ritual of the Evil Eye.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
like the Crawling, there was a lot of the acts that were on today. Well, Crawling definitely were playing there anyway. So, like the fucking Ohms were there as well. So the pressure was ratcheting up the whole time. You know, and I said to Sean, I goes, "Fucking hell, kid, you're gonna have to play a gig of your life here because every single band were fucking nailing it." You know.
Yeah.
And like, so fuck it, Ronan, of course, didn't bother going on the stage at all, so he was in the crowd the whole gig, swirling the hair, and I was in my usual spot up the front anyway, giving it holly. Next minute I got this smell, and I was there, what the fuck is that smell? And I looked, Ronan had puked on the fucking floor, man.
That doesn't even mildly surprise me.
Pure rock and roll, but everybody was gagging then. So how do you fucking headbang and
Gig of
gag?
your life, guys. Yeah.
Ronan lives and breathes it. Like,
Saying that though, folk won't forget that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a set and a half. Like, and
Did it ever happen to you?
be sick. Nah, I've had a bucket beside me on the drum kit before, but adrenaline usually stops you from actually being sick until afterwards.
What about you, Chris? As a
I've had to
vocalist?
run off while we were filming a video a few times.
Really, yeah?
In Bannerman's, yeah, I remember that being hungover as hell.
Yeah.
Hungover as hell.
Yeah.
there's that.
And every shot, like, just one shot, then I'm just going to go to the toilet. I'll be back in a minute.
There's actually in my other band, in AXA, there's actual video footage of me, like I'm a singer, so singing, and then did just a little bit of spew down my guitar strap. Mid song, didn't even miss a beat, just like just a dribble of spew, and then just continued.
Class, man.
And out of all the songs, the guy picked that one to put on
put the
live.
video
I was like,
It was
no
definitely
way.
on purpose. Like,
so I just said it to the boys. I was like 1 minute 46. Check out the wee spew.
Brilliant. And what do you think of the reaction you got tonight?
it was amazing. Like, the crowd was actually awesome.
Absolutely phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
so
for-
looking out over it, the crowd, and it's just
you never really know. Like, I mean, I was at Urban Assault last year, but it being
Oh,
5
yeah, with
o'clock.
Razor Sharp, yeah.
But
Yeah.
being 5 o'clock, you're a bit like, oh well, maybe folk are still coming in and that. But the
Yeah.
crowd was great. It
That was
Oh,
awesome.
the crowd
properly
were
even,
brilliant. Like.
Yeah.
It's
Because
great.
People right into it, especially that drunk guy with the Pantera t-shirt. He was fucking
yeah.
loving it.
Just
Like,
okay.
Came on stage and just gave
Get his
you a hug
nipples out.
mid-song, Barry.
Like,
Yeah,
how
I've
many
s-
times did he tell you to fucking kiss his nipple?
I've seen his nipple
It was
more
when he
times
was
than I want to.
It was when his nipple was grinding against my guitar.
was, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
yeah.
welcome a cock.
You had some patience, I tell you that, Luke. You know, you get these lads there, they just.
he's well
I
into
mean,
No,
it.
he was
at
loving
the same
it,
time, he's
like,
having
you know.
fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
I don't
having
care
a
if
great
they're
time.
enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's only when they're.
If he wants to get his nipples out, he can
dicks
get his
on
nipples
purpose.
out. It's fine.
Yeah.
Barry, he came actually up onto the stage to you. He went a bit further with more than anybody else with you.
It was very intimate.
Yeah.
And everybody knows Barry loves hugs.
As you can tell from
He's
this
a very
interview.
outward person. He doesn't even have a microphone.
Tell Jamie I said hello as well.
Will do,
Cool.
man.
Let's talk about your latest album, The Electric Abyss. It's like, Jesus, how many months now?
It's been out since September.
I can't
September,
count
yeah.
that well.
Because he did launch party in La Belle Angel, is it?
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Edinburgh.
yeah.
Do you remember much
pronounced
about that?
Actually, I was absolutely belter.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
amazing. Like
It was
rammed.
great to finally. I think that's the ultimate when you're like, right, we recorded the album, we're all really happy with it. It's the big build up, and then finally you just get to play all
Yeah.
the new songs
Yeah.
live. So
Yeah.
it was banging.
And like you had a great
Amazing,
fucking King Witch, Disposable, is it?
Yeah.
Perpetua and Leave
Perpetua, yeah.
Solar Sons as well.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fucking.
It's
That's
a
like
good
a
lineup.
mini
Like,
festival.
playing after
Yeah,
King
yeah,
Witch
yeah.
is always quite nerve wracking because those guys are
They're fucking
really fucking good at what they do. Like,
Yeah.
So
like-
Jamie, the guitarist of King Witch, he's the guy that recorded our album.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's,
yeah.
and
leave me lead into it. Leave
Sorry.
well, we don't know who recorded our album.
And so Jamie, as I said, did it, recorded, mixed it, and Laura designed the cover as well.
Yeah, Laura did the cover, and then it was our mate Alan that did the photos for it. So it's been a very homegrown affair.
Yeah,
Every other
fair
time we've
play.
done it in a studio, and usually you're cramming it into a week, so you've got the kind of panic of, well, we're spending money every second. If you make mistakes, it's worse basically.
But did that take pressure off you as well?
It took a lot of pressure off. Like
it gave us time to, especially like getting sounds, getting the right
Yeah,
sound.
going
for the
back
album,
and
rather
forward
than being like
and-
whatever that'll do because you're, as you keep
Plus-
saying, crammed into a week.
Yeah.
It's good to just have a bit of time and
Yeah.
figure
We also
out
had
what you
the-
want it to sound like.
the time to go to Jamie and say, can you take some of that reverb off that snare, because you've definitely been listening to far too much. What was
Power
Power
Trip.
Trip? Aye. You've been listening to Power Trip too much.
So
So
he
you
was
just
listening- he
changed
was
all the
letting Power
sounds.
Trip in the van, and then suddenly like the snare was just reverb central. And it's like, sorry guys.
But like Luke, as a guitarist, how did you find Jamie? Like, was he able to kind of help you, or did you need help, or?
They shy, eh?
So with Jamie, I mean, we've kept Jamie for over a decade, which
Yeah.
is mate say, and he's great to work with in the sense that if you're playing, he'll just be like, "Well, that was shite. Do that again." Like, and because we're mates, you've got that
Yeah.
kind of, you can have that banter.
Yes.
And he's
Yeah,
definitely a good guy to record with because he pushed all of us. Like,
Well, that's
Oh, yeah.
we obviously wanted it to be amazing, and we had like
Yeah.
kind of got ourselves to a point, but it was good to have just that extra set of ears.
Yeah.
He's not in the band, and it was good to kind of.
And like as I said, if he calls it shit, like he will go,
Yeah.
oh right.
And it's
sure.
ended up like I think it's the best we've ever sounded on an album by
stars.
miles.
Fucking
Which
And
unbelievable.
also, we did it in our practice room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just recorded
Yeah.
it in the room
Yeah.
with
I mean,
like
you would never know.
makeshift
You would, like,
walls.
if you listen to it, you
No,
wouldn't
you
think it
wouldn't
was just
know.
in some
Yeah.
shitty little practice
Yeah,
room.
I
How
would
did that- how did
recommend
that come
Jamie
about?
to anyone.
Did you shop around, or?
No, that was on purpose. We made that decision like right from the start. We were
Yeah.
saying, who are we recording with? Definitely Jamie, because we had heard.
Yeah.
Well, King Witch stuff, obviously, but he's also done a loads of other bands as well.
Yeah.
And each recording was just getting better and better. And I was
Yeah.
like, we need to go to Jamie because he can
Yeah.
do something phenomenal.
Yeah.
What he says.
And I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, he did. Would it be fair to say he actually made you heavier?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely heavier than anything we've ever done.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing, we keep getting heavier.
Yeah.
It's-
well,
it's one of those things
I don't
usually-
think anybody's complaining over that.
Yeah,
Liz, you know.
usually what happens is a band starts relatively heavy and then they tend to get crapper as they're trying to be more commercial, and that's the usual thing. Everyone's like, oh, I like their first albums, but no, we've kind of done the opposite.
Yeah.
We've just got heavier and heavier
Yeah.
and
So we
heavier.
kind of say, well, so what's the next album going to sound like?
But like as a,
Fucking heavy.
as a vocalist then, Chris, you know, you kind of, I'll just give you a good example, Chuck Billy or The Testament.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they
yeah.
went through a stage where like they were trash, and then they went fucking kind of heavier, and then kind of almost it flirted with a bit of death metal. If you know your
Yeah.
Testament, yeah. What about you, Chris? Would you
Well,
feel
funnily enough that you
as a
say
vocalist?
the Testament album, The Gathering,
Yeah.
I used that album as a massive influence for It Came From the Sun.
Oh,
And
right,
obviously
okay.
that helped me push on to this album, The
Right.
Electric Abyss. So yeah, I mean, I've got the obvious ones like Pantera and all that, like Phil Anselmo and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the way it is. But but yeah, like that's a good example, I would say.
I would
The
say
Testament.
Chuck Billy, but there's rather than just that low deep, which Chuck Billy's good at,
Yeah.
Chris is
He's-
banging at as well.
Yeah.
And this album, we kind of decided to do maybe a bit more tones and also be a lot higher with the
Okay.
singing at times, because like having the low voice constantly, it's heavy, but it's actually the heaviest part's the part where he reaches like some sort of high note in that.
Yeah.
And with this album, we kind of made the decision that there would be like two singers, so
Yeah.
like we're both singing and having, well, me and Chris have got totally different types of voices, but having that together in like some
Yes.
sick
And-
minging harmony
Yes.
just adds to the heaviness.
It also
It's-
means that you are both basically competing with each other to be as heavy as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
definitely
Well, that
helps,
was
like,
definitely
I
it. Chris
think
would do
that's
the
helpful.
longest
Well,
scream
that's-
ever, and I'd be like, I'm going to do it longer.
It definitely makes me a lot better. Like I'm always like,
I think there was one song he played tonight where the two of you were singing, and it was fucking. You got it right. It was super heavy, and it was really.
Dagos 9?
Yes. No.
It might be the
no,
first
no,
Electric
no,
Abyss
no,
has got both of
Oh,
you
the
right
Electric
away.
Abyss.
Like,
The first one,
yeah.
yeah.
we
That's
both
the
come
one.
in like
Yeah, that's fucking great, man. It works really, really good. You know.
And it's a different thing for people to see as well, because they'll think, all right, there's 4 members, he's a singer, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And suddenly in Electric Abyss, when both of us are singing right at the start, it's like a total curveball where people are like, holy shit,
And
what's
like
going on? This is
Chris
different.
doesn't come in for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because Luke doesn't start bit, and then
yeah.
that was weird for a video as well.
Chris was in the Wall of Death at the album launch.
Yeah.
Like, where is he? Oh, he's in the pit because he's no singing. Like,
I was absolutely shattered when I got back on the stage. I was like, I can hardly breathe from
Getting
my
too
part. I
old
was
for
like,
this
sorry
shit.
guys.
And I know, and that's something that singers kind of, I suppose as you grow mature-wise, you have to fucking remember that as well. You can't be just absolutely running around like a lunatic and then kind of have to
Yeah, I know.
perform.
Unless you're Bruce Dickinson, he seems to manage
Guitarists
it.
can do it in their fucking sleep, and I won't mention bass players.
There's no point in mentioning bass players, they've not got a mic.
So it's a self-release. Again, respect, fair play to you.
We don't have that much choice, but
I kind of floated around the idea, sent a couple of emails on it, but I mean, the reality is, I mean, in this day and age, you're not.
Right.
The bands aren't waiting for that. The record deal because I'm getting a limo to fucking Hollywood. It's like self-release, and it
doesn't
It
happen.
means that there's not another person involved. It's just us. We know exactly what we want, and
I'm
that's what,
so glad that
what
we did it as well, because you hear
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
horror stories with smaller labels and stuff like that as well.
They
Like-
delay albums and fucking everything.
Yeah, they delay
that's-
albums, but also quite often I think what happens is like the bigger bands they've got on their roster get all the basically takens, and the
do.
people that are underneath just get screwed over quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
as well
we've
as that,
got
I suppose on the other side then, if you've got, I know it's not the same, but if you've got a good promo company as well, they can actually get you out further.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think promotions companies are definitely something you could go through. We just did everything ourselves. And
Yeah.
I'm glad we did, because it's kind of like proof to us of what we can do.
Yeah.
Like, and
But like, is there points there as a band, like you're just going, am I fucking hitting my head against the wall there?
You mean in like booking gigs and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, like you're just kind of going, Jesus, I wish someone would fucking help.
Oh no, definitely.
Massively, yeah.
But that's, I mean, that is to me the shit part about being in a band. It's the part when you're like, right, guys, I'm locking myself in the room with a fucking laptop and I'm booking tours and that.
Yeah.
It's the most un-rock and roll thing
Yes,
ever.
it is.
And
yeah.
it's rubbish and it's draining.
Yeah.
But the end result's amazing. And
And, yeah.
you always got to remember, why do we do it? Because
also,
we all love it. We all
the-
love it. Like,
I think the toil helps with the music. Like if you've got the toil going through it, your music's got more anger and more. You've got
True,
more hunger
actually,
behind your
yes,
band.
it's a great point.
All these bands that suddenly they get massive, then they bring out albums that are really lackluster. I think it's because
Yeah.
they're living in massive houses
They've
with
got
lots of
nothing
money.
to
They've got
hate.
no
Right.
bothers, no worries or anything. Whereas
Yeah.
when you're a bit fed up of everything, you bring out angrier music.
I think a good example of that's Corey Taylor. So
Yeah.
like when my original Slipknot album, then there was Iowa, they're fucking really angry albums, and then suddenly he
just
was
lost
rich and he had checkered shoes, and that was it. And then he's just, there's nothing to hate anymore.
But
you know what I
you
mean?
know
Like,
what? I don't like them, but I would say you're right there. Is that band Five Finger Death Punch as well?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know,
Yeah.
same
It's
shit.
nonsense.
Like they
Right.
suddenly they had the hunger, and then you can see they don't give a shit.
They're
now.
too
Like,
glossy,
just going
man.
through
Well,
the fucking
calling your
motions.
album Hate H8 is
fuck right off. My friend, well,
This is gonna
Alan,
get brought up,
Alan, the
isn't
guy
it?
that was a photographer like for us, and he helps out with gig posters and stuff. He seen Five Finger Death Punch in Texas or something like that, or somewhere like a southern state,
Right.
and he said it was the most cringeworthy. Like that he said he was nearly spewing because like halfway through the song they were like, "This one goes out to the troops, support our troops," and then everyone fucking stood for the national anthem during the fucking set, man. That's not metal. What's going on?
It's not metal.
I
You
can
can support
imagine
the
all
troops,
these
but
all
you
these
don't need to
Americans
bring it
just
in your
holding their
music.
hats and Alan in between them, like,
Yeah, but
what?
I mean, they're fucking playing the crowd as well.
No,
there, you
totally,
know,
like,
it's
aye, it's like-
bullshit,
Is it-
like.
going back to like the whole getting gigs and booking, the best way is this takes longer. Well, we've been around for a while now,
Yeah.
but like the natural way at the gigs, when you meet the other bands and you're like just chatting away and you end up like becoming mates with them and
Yeah.
you swap gigs and everyone's like, yeah, cool, and you meet people that are like-minded basically, instead of having to go through, we have to go and speak to this person and that person, and they just feel like a robot when you're talking
Yeah.
to them. You're like, they won't do that, or they won't, but they're like, but they just said they, but no, you know, just stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You know, like
It's
That's-
better-
Gig
it's-
swaps are a massive
I
part.
understand why,
Yeah.
but like
that's why I kind of more
gig swaps are great.
That's
like,
why I kind of more or less with this show like it as well. Like people forget, you know, if you're not into metal, they're missing this whole, and it is a whole community. It's a scene, but it's a community, because like community means everybody fucking helps each other out. Like,
yeah.
do you know, and people don't get that.
I think
saying
it's
about
difficult for
people people helping each other out in metal. In Ireland, there seems to be like such a tight knit
Absolutely.
community, and
Absolutely.
everyone's so welcoming.
Yeah.
And because we are just like four Dafties for Scotland coming over. But I mean, if they've seen us before or if they haven't, everyone's so friendly and really like care about underground bands. Like,
look, there's no mean-spirited competitiveness.
No.
With the bands.
There seems to be no clique
used to be
either.
a long time ago. Kind of in Dublin more so,
right?
But now all that is gone. It's just fucking. As
Getting
I said,
rid of that's
big
really
community.
important for the underground scene. Like, because there's no point in having issues within the underground scene when it's already underground. It's already underground. It's already a genre that's not that well known. Young people definitely aren't getting as much into metal, but I think that's because the metal that gets shoved down their throat by the media is like Five Finger Death Punch. Whereas if they were to come out and see underground bands like that kid that was up today,
he must have been 8 years
came
old.
in and he wanted to see us.
Yeah, that's right.
It was so amazing cool, to see a kid that young.
His dad apparently had the sheet of bands. Wait, what band do you want to see? He's like, Dog Tired.
He lives down by me, Keith. Fair play. My son, he's the same age as my son actually. My son's first gig was 10 Ton Slug.
Nice.
2 years ago in the Siege.
Nice man.
And my daughter is 17 and her first gig was AC/DC in Punchestown. So, I did my best, man.
You've set them up.
Now, I set you up. So it's taken me 3 years between albums, roughly, is it?
Yeah, that's roughly.
It seems to be like a cycle. We don't really notice it.
It's not on purpose. It just seems to be that's when we.
You pretty much tour it for like a year where you're solidly thinking about it. Then you start to get some sneaky riffs in the practice room, and then you're like, oh well, that's a couple of songs coming together, and then it just over time you end up one album rather than bringing out EPs and stuff, because I tend to find that people, if they're sticking on music, they like it to at least last like an album's length, because say you're on a journey,
fucking metal,
chuck it on, and then you
I love albums.
Like,
albums like there's like a story. It's a start and a finish, and I don't mean like a concept. Albums don't have to be a concept, but there is a definitely overarching kind of vibe, and that's on purpose. Where we've positioned songs and bits in between.
Bands
but when you
that
have an
on
EP,
purpose,
if there's only 4 or 5 tracks, you don't have that. It's just songs.
Yeah. I mean, like we'll say, I don't know how I come across it, but like sometimes you've guys there, they'd have their phone and they'd fucking sing a riff into the phone. Yeah. Actually sing it.
That's me, man.
Are you one of them?
I'm an absolute sad bastard.
Are you really?
Somebody was talking about that last night. Like, how do you remember your riffs? And I was like, I'll sing them into the phone.
In the shower.
No, the last one I said to them is like me fighting with my dog, just playing with her, and I was like, I've got a riff. And so I'm like, and the dog's like, and I sent it to them, and they were like, what a cunt.
A mix of riffs, dogs, and heavy breathing, Jesus.
So like you have your riffs and your lyrics, obviously huge horror fans, John Carpenter, salute. What about the title, the Electric Abyss?
So that came from there's a line in Spire of Dissonance, which is on It Came From The Sun. It's the last song on the album, and there's a line in that says the shrine of light to the electric abyss.
Who wrote that?
Out my face when I wrote that.
I was just going to say, Jesus Christ.
But then Keith was like, what does that mean? I was like, I don't know, but it sounds fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then, so that came from, so that's one of the last lyrics in that album. So that kind of, the electric abyss, I was like, that's really cool. And the idea being like the shrine of light to the electric abyss, it's that kind of natural. From that album, we've went to the electric abyss. So we were like, as soon as you say that, then that's when all the imagery and the idea for the front cover came about. So we're like, yeah, just call it the electric abyss. Like,
Jesus, that was really,
basically in the
that was
sky.
really handy to hear that.
Yeah, it sounds like we were quite clever, but we weren't.
Yeah. If anyone else chats, oh no, there's a big clever story to it.
Like going back and stealing one of your old riffs.
It had nothing to do with shrooms, no?
No, it's just high as fuck.
And I have to give a mention as well to Alan Swan.
Yeah.
Fucking legend, man. That's like how many? That's like 2 or 3 videos he's done for you, is it?
No, he's only actually done one.
No, he's doing another one with you.
Next week.
He's like that was only like the second music video he'd done. He did an Axer, then us, and it's amazing. Like
he's worked with you like as a photographer.
Oh yeah, he's been a photographer for years and years, but he's kind of moved into the video like side of it now, and it's great because again he's a mate just like Jamie, so it's like we can bounce ideas off each other, and he's really got quite a directing mind. Like so he kind of takes it seriously. He has it all planned out, time scales and different shots he's wanting
pretty
to
much
get,
every single
bounce ideas constantly. So
every single person in Edinburgh has an Alan Swan photo as their profile picture. It's like it's not really their profile picture if it's not Alan Swan's. Like,
but I love the start of Daggut's 9 where just the kind of the
VHS like sort of old video.
So we had made the video like it was all cut together, and I was like, it's not finished. So I ran in and made that keyboard intro.
Did you?
I wrote the keyboard intro in that, And then it was like, oh, and get some sort of 80s thing at the start of this so it looks like a video. And then
And he did it. No, I saw fucking pictures of him, man, in Halloween. I'm trying to still unsee those pictures.
Oh god,
As
that
Baywatch
was Baywatch.
extras.
Yeah, we've done a lot of different costumes. I forget which ones are which, but that one was particularly maybe not as disgusting as Disney princesses. That was pretty.
What?
Grim,
When
like.
was that?
That was in Opium a few years ago, and at the same time, like a bunch of the lassies that we know.
I got the
went
short
as
end of the
dog
straw though.
tired.
Barry looked great as Snow White. I looked terrible as Princess Jasmine.
Oh, I was spilling out of the Tinkerbell costume like it was disgusting.
And I think I was Belle from Beauty
Yeah,
and the Beast.
spill the ball.
If everyone's like, you just look like
We take
someone in a
Halloween
yellow dress,
very
who's Belle, bro?
seriously.
We've done we've done Monty Python. We went as like the Holy Grail, like
that
we
was
went as 3
amazing.
flowers and a bee. We've gone as
Jesus Christ.
Mortal Kombat. And
Don't-
Mortal Kombat, me and Barry put loads in and made ace costumes, and then look, Bagside Scorpion, and it was shite. And then Chris, everyone was like, "Oh look, it's 3 folk from Mortal Kombat," and then Chris is a shite Terminator.
And is this always Halloween? Like, is it?
Yeah.
Just
So
Just
if we're booked for Halloween, then we'll be like, right, let's pull out all the stops. I remember talking about the three flowers and a bee. We know this band Get Some from the Netherlands, and we've done a bunch of tours going over
Oh,
there.
right,
and
yeah,
they came
swaps.
over here, but the first time we met them was at Halloween, and we booked a tour whilst I was dressed as a flower, like just like after the gig, and I'm sure there's a photo somewhere of just me being really serious, just dressed as a flower, like writing stuff down.
Jesus Christ Almighty.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll, yeah.
Know how desperate we are to always have a Halloween gig. There was one time in Dundee. It was a gig a week before, and it wasn't really their Halloween night, but we were like, this is the only one we've got around that. So we turned up dressed as astronauts. And everyone's like, why are you dressed as astronauts?
Just
Coming out
this
to
is what we
Aerosmith.
do.
Like,
High fiving
Why
him on
not?
Aerosmith and that was brilliant.
Was it Aerosmith and that fucking?
I don't wanna mess with you.
High
and
fiving
then
him
we're
on
all
the front.
slow high-fiving everyone. Like,
No one else was dressed up.
yeah, everyone's
Just
like,
us.
why are you dressed up? Like, this is Halloween, right?
Because this is our Halloween.
Yeah.
Don't take it from us.
So I checked out Penicuik. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, man, all right.
I
Banging.
just googled it to see, you know, what kind of area is it like.
Oh
It's
god!
in,
Hopefully you don't get the residence forum.
Midlothian. Is it Heart of Midlothian?
Yeah.
No, well, Midlothian, aye.
Is it? Okay. And,
So-
and like
There's
there
a
was 2
football-
fucking headlines, right? Just jumped out at me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
that's
the
weird.
first one was farmer punches sheep in the face.
That was recent.
That's respect.
That's a belter, yeah.
And the next one was body found near Penicuik as well. So I don't know if they're related.
Was it the
fucking-
was it the
Is that
sheep?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Penicuik's a wee bit grim, but there's a lot of metal in Penicuik. There's like
Well, there
there's
you
so
go,
many
man.
bands that have links to Penicuik. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
Name a
like,
few. Give us a
Iron
few.
Altar. 2 of the members
Iron
from that
Altar,
are from
fuck,
Penicuik.
okay.
Iron Altar,
Like,
yeah, so
Callus
Iron
is
Altar's
technically from Penicuik as well.
the guitarist Squee is my brother-in-law. So
Okay.
they're all
It's a bit inbred and weird,
Everyone knows everyone, or is some
Yeah.
sort of other band. And
Yeah.
There's always usually a link to Penicuik somehow. So.
They're actually coming. They're touring with Zahora.
Zahora, yeah,
They
man.
tour with them quite a lot, I think, actually.
Yeah.
They've
And
got new
they're-
stuff coming out.
And so Iron Altar. Who else? Anyone else from Penicuik?
Oh yeah, well
Hammer.
there's
There's
Hammer,
there's
Anaxar, there was Torn Face,
Torn
there
Face
was
is good, yeah.
Lucifer's Corpus,
Jesus.
there was
And what size area is it, lads?
Goddamn Brewery, it's tiny.
It's
like a
very
wee town.
small,
26,000
All these
or
people
so?
are all
Oh fuck it, okay.
yeah. So
It's a commuter town.
It's weird when people say like, oh, when I was growing up in high school, there was just me and another guy, and that was the metal scene in the high
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Because our metal scene was massive.
Yeah.
Like, it was a whole fucking year. Like,
Yeah,
of
it
just
was-
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, that's unusual. It
Yeah,
is
really. But
unusual,
it was
like.
probably an amazing breeding ground for us to all grow up and all want to be in bands at the same time. And then,
Yeah.
like, when we were 16, the school wouldn't let us put on nights because we always had Wall of Death and everyone was
Yeah.
getting beads cracked. You know?
Yeah, we got banned from playing.
So we just, from the age of 16, just started, well, we'll put on our own gigs. So that's what
And then we got
started
banned
doing.
from the town hall.
I'm guessing that, in hindsight, must have really helped the metal
Yeah,
scene continue
absolutely.
as well, because people, like, for instance, Squee, like my brother-in-law in Iron Altar, his first gig was seeing our band in the town hall. And he was like, this is what I want to do
Yeah,
in my life.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it was
amazing, yeah.
Like, so yeah. I think it
And like,
really-
where would be the nearest area then for, like, we'll say, free to see touring bands? Would it be
Edinburgh.
But
yeah.
if you're looking for big touring bands, it's Glasgow.
They always
Like,
just go to Glasgow.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it's just kind of cornered that market of
There's-
the
there's
big
not
touring
not big
bands.
enough venues.
Yeah, there's larger
Well,
venues in
LaBelle,
Glasgow.
though.
Yeah, but
LaBelle.
that's not big enough for the
No,
bands.
I
Like,
mean,
you're
for
not
like,
going to get Metallica.
maybe like Orange Goblin.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like-
like
Oh,
totally
class.
bands like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've got
Vegas.
the Corn Exchange
Yeah.
as well, but generally Glasgow do have the bigger venues. They've just got a lot more of them.
It's only an hour's drive, man. I mean,
I
it's
think they're
not-
making a
yeah,
venue
it's
just
not
outside the Penicuik though. It's straight, and I think an 8,000 strong venue. Like,
You heard it
would be
here
amazing,
first,
'cause then you
folks.
get, like, imagine Gojira at Straighton.
Just,
yeah.
But getting the 20-minute bus to go see Gojira, that'd be class.
Yeah, go on. So who do you think would be your favourite fucking band to support? I would say straight away Gojira. Anyway, for me, anyway.
Oh, as in like big bands that you'd want to support.
Currently now, a big supporting Gojira would be amazing.
Yeah, Gojira.
I
Judas
could-
Priest.
Judas Priest.
Judas
Yeah.
Priest,
Which we
yeah,
are.
cool.
We're on the same poster as Judas Priest.
Yeah,
That was
totally.
mental.
We're on the same.
That's
Bloodstock.
Bloodstock. Yeah,
yeah.
Fucking.
We're on the
some
same day as
festival, man.
Devin
Dude,
Townsend,
so we're
which
playing
is
Friday.
Yeah.
amazing, and he's
Don't
playing
know what time
Strapping.
yet, but we're super excited.
Did you? Are you into Sophie? Or are you in
Sophie.
Sophie's perfect for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
fucking perfect, man.
Yeah.
Because the Jägermeister is a bit too small.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
But God, I've seen some fucking great bands play the Jägermeister as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no hiding there. Like, there's just no hiding there. You have
Oh,
to
the
be
crowd
on
just
fucking point.
spills out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. We went to Bloodstock for 5 years. And we loved it, but we've done it. Do you know that kind of way now? We've done it. And there was, when we were going there, like, 10 Ton Slug were playing there, fucking Zora, just like all the Irish bands are hitting it at the right time, you know?
There was
Yeah.
there was a time where like loads of local bands we knew were playing the same year. Like I can't remember, there was like loads of them, but I think that was that when 10 Ton Slug were playing the tent, or was it
I wasn't there that year when
Oh,
10
no,
Tons played.
No, totally. Yeah, neither
Now,
was
would you go there as fans to the Bloodstock?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we have. So we
Being-
played, it's about 6 years ago now. We did the whole Metal to the Masses thing and won
Oh,
that,
right,
and then
okay.
played the new
That's a
Bloodstock.
great fucking
But I'd
program,
never
innit?
been to Bloodstock before, so
Yeah.
when we went to that, I was like, this is like the best metal festival
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
ever been to.
Perfect
so that was
size.
for years and years after, we just went because it was great. Like,
Yeah, I think it was Gojira was the last headliner.
That was a,
They were
that was a
amazing.
set, though. It was
Like,
fucking
fucking
mental.
I don't think I've ever seen a band that tight.
I was
ever.
wondering, like,
Yeah.
because I was wondering what it was going to be like with them headlining, because usually you see them like 40-minute set in between.
Yeah.
It's always intense, but I was like, are they going to do anything special for the headline set? And I was like, they've just pretty much made
that's-
the mark of like these boys are the best.
They're
You know what I mean?
headliners, like they're the.
And that's
the
another
next
thing
big
that Bloodstock doesn't get credit for. When you're a headliner in Bloodstock, they throw the kitchen sink at
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
for effects and everything, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Amon Amarth was ridiculous.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that was
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
Had the big. Well, to be fair, the Dragons theirs, but there was just so much stuff. Like
We saw Twisted Sister, who were
Yeah,
fucking class.
they were
man.
great. I tell you what, so I didn't obviously knew of Twisted Sister, but I'd never really listened to their tunes. And I was watching that set. I was like, these guys are fucking great. I'm gonna get into Twisted Sister. And he's like, this is the last gig. Oh, just got into this, man.
And Judas Priest, we saw Judas Priest live there as
They
well.
were amazing.
brilliant,
Like
man.
that was the same year as Gojira, was it not?
Yes, it was. Yeah. What I loved about Judas Priest was, and like I never saw him before, was they brought. I know they're a British band, but they brought the American arena act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into fucking Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know what, the platforms?
Yeah,
and it's so
yeah.
fucking
Plus,
cool. The
Rob Halford
motorbike.
just oozes cool.
Yes.
Just when he walks about the stage, you're just like, he is cool as fuck.
Like, how old is the dude? Like,
70?
70,
Aye, he's
What?
70. Like,
Yeah.
Because you know he's all about ages, was he? And
can you imagine yourselves doing it at 70, lads?
I'll be dead.
Okay, fair enough.
I reckon.
That's one gone. We'll try. Chris?
I definitely.
Well,
don't
try,
think-
Try and
Chris.
keep going.
You've not got long.
I know. Can only dream.
If I make it to 70, great. I would like to think I'll be playing, but
I'll
I'll
probably
be honest, I don't think it's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
If I'm at 70, I'll probably be shiting myself in a home like.
Actually, did
I'm
I
part of the set.
did I see ye tonight all fucking playing without fucking earplugs?
Yes.
yeah.
Never, like,
Shame
I
on
practice my head. Practice
I know.
earplugs, but you can't get into it.
Yeah, the
No,
problem is
no,
it
when you're
dulls the,
live.
the enjoyment as well, which is.
I know, yeah, but I mean, fuck it, like tinnitus, lads. You don't
I know.
have it yet, have you?
No.
No.
No? Protect your fucking ears. Seriously. It's not
What?
worth it later on down the line. What? I remember Sean from 10 Ton Slug had one of them and he lost it. It was kind of see-through, but like it was like 200 or 300 quid.
Yeah, no,
each.
that was last
Jesus.
year here.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, because he was like, have you
Did
seen my
he ask you?
earplug? Yeah, I know, I could have asked everyone.
Yeah.
But if it's that amount of money, like, you'd be wanting to find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I would ever pay anything more than 20 quid for earplugs.
Yeah, yeah.
20
yeah.
quid's
Free ones
pushing
are
it,
usually
like.
better. Like,
Yeah, a few of my mates have tinnitus now, and again, now I had them in for ye, but I was constantly kind of pulling them out further and further. I can't hear the fucking guitar sound. But so tour-wise, for the rest of the year, we're only in Is it March? No, it's 29th February. Yeah.
yeah. So the idea is we actually just got one show in March in Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Yeah. So that's at Trillions. And then April, May, there's a lot of things happening, such as like Alan's getting like married, and there's a stag night, so there's lots of going.
Oh man, that's your stag night will be legendary. With these lads.
Alan Swan, though, not him. He's already had one.
All right.
So it's kind of busy for us, but not band-wise. But we're hoping from end of May, start of June, we're already in the works of planning the kind of big tour all around Bloodstock.
Cool.
So
having the Bloodstock announcements massively.
Hopefully back over in Europe, mainland Europe as well. So
we're in Norway in September.
We're playing
Really?
Norway.
How did that come about?
Yeah.
Is that another swap?
That was it was
technically is a swap.
technically a swap. It's a guy called Paul that we met from a band called Blindfolded. Intense band from Norway.
Right.
He came over and played one gig with us in Edinburgh. We really liked him. Loves Dog Tired. So now his band are coming over for 3 dates with us in August, and he runs that festival. So
Nice
on
one.
that as well. So I've never been to Scandinavia, so to be able to go to Norway with the band,
Yes, there you go.
A brilliant.
Yeah, we get to go and play a festival, and he got to play Banshees.
Yeah.
It's maybe a bit unfair.
Like how many? You've played a lot of, I'd imagine, Scottish festivals, have you?
Yeah.
Is there like what are the main ones in Scotland?
But there seems to be the main one now that we're booked for is Red Crust Festival.
Right,
It's run by
okay.
Duncan Mountain. He's a great promoter in Edinburgh.
Shout out.
We've got one that we've had for years, just running ourselves, called Bob Fest. It's been going for like 13 years or something
Wow.
like that.
Okay.
This year it's happening again.
Is it indoors?
It's indoors. Aye.
Yeah.
We did one outdoor one time, and it was, we made the paper because there's a guy blowing fire and all this stuff. So
Oh, cool.
I don't think it was made the paper
Bit like
in
Jim
a-
Rose
in a
Circus,
good
no?
way. It was more yeah. So but it was, other festivals. There's
Well, we've played that Wildfire
Wildfire,
down the borders.
That
Right.
kind of stopped and then it started back up again.
Yeah, but we
But
played
it's
that a
more
couple of
rock
years.
Now, are they
based.
predominantly metal festivals, or do they
It's
alternate?
rock metal.
That one's rock.
metal.
the other one we've played tons is in Dundee. That's through Slow Dragon Music. Hordes of Belial. Have you
Yeah.
heard of that?
What's it
before?
called?
Hordes of Belial.
I think it's now called Hordes X.
Aye, Hordes X.
Well, that was because it was just.
That's a great festival though.
Yeah, that
It's
was
been
really
running
good.
for
Like.
years as well.
Also, you might as well shout out now. You're looking for extras.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You want to come over now?
Have you decided what single is it? Are you going to? Are you going
Lord
to?
of the Vial.
Yeah.
Okay, nice one.
It's
Full blasting.
yeah.
Right, cool.
I'm doing it at this place called the Biscuit Factory, Leaf Biscuit Factory. But it looks.
I hope it's deserted now. It's not a.
That'd be hilarious if it was.
Full of biscuits. Like,
So what's happening in this
We'll
video?
feed
Mate,
you as
biscuits,
well.
mate. It looks just like a brutally empty shell of a building that's
what
going to
you
be
want,
left to
man.
ruin
Suits
and
your
that,
music,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
And
And
the
are you
whole
gonna
theme is
do-
like John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness.
Yeah,
Have you ever
okay.
seen
Oh,
the
yeah.
film? It's based
Yeah.
around that because the song's based around that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all going to be. I think we're going to get a bunch of people kind of dressing pretty much like people from Penicuik dress anyway.
Yeah. I bet it's Gaffy.
Shell suits.
Yeah, loads of shell suits.
Like, are you going to go zombie mode or what?
Nah, I guess
Nah.
we'll just have people looking like the folk from Prince of Darkness, and we're still working with a couple of ideas of what we're going to do, but just kind of creepy.
Why does
ominous
Alice
men
Cooper
staying.
come into my mind for that Prince of
'Cause
Darkness?
he's in it.
He was the
Soundtrack.
main. No, he was the main dude.
The main dude,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Jesus, that's going back a long time, man.
Cracking
Fuck
film,
me.
though, isn't it?
Do you know what I was disgusted with as well? I don't know. I bet you were like me. You started watching it and then just fucking gave
Thing
up. on it.
prequel.
Walking Dead.
All right.
The Walking Dead.
So, it was good for a bit, and now it's just like some sort of soap
I
drama.
don't-
Weirdly, we
just-
were moaning about that on the way here.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going for ratings now to the point where I think Negan's like pumping zombies and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
what's
that's
going
why
on.
it came into my head as
Yeah.
well. I was just going,
Like,
lads.
what? It's
When
like
he
a quest for
appeared,
rating.
I just fucking turned it off.
I think his
That
entrance was amazing.
That first episode when he was there was great. And
Yeah.
that is almost like a drastic turning point, because
Yeah.
right after that it got
And then
rubbish.
suddenly
It
there's
did, yeah.
shite
Really
computer
rubbish.
graphic
Yeah.
tigers
The
and
point that you're watching it, you're
bollocks.
like, why am I even bothering? This is actually just wasting time in my life watching
Yeah.
this shit. So.
Oh, fucking hell. Lads, I could talk to you forever about horrors as well. Listen, I want to thank you for coming here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
No problem, man.
The Cork crowd, as you know, the Cork crowd loved you. You got a
Yeah.
fucking great response.
Yeah,
man.
that was amazing.
Yeah, they were absolutely amazing. Like.
So, like,
We hope to be back.
yes,
We can go
you
back.
know, and look, if you can't get to Cork, get to Limerick. It's not too far away for us. We'll travel free.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man.
And best of luck with the rest of the year.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Dog Tired. Thanks, lads.
Wait.
Cheers.
machine constructed for war. No escape, my mind has no control. Forever my sentence, bound to this machine for eternity, my sentence. Beyond the ground.
Okay, hello, this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. I'm delighted to welcome Skypilot here and also James Loveday of Distortion Project. How are you, lads?
Very well.
Good, very well.
Good, thank you. So far.
Yeah, so how was the trip down anyway, first of all? Who was the designated driver?
That would be myself.
Okay.
Yeah, it was early start, but
fast.
Thankfully, due to flouting the traffic laws of both countries, we managed to get here in time. So.
That's cool.
Probably shouldn't say that.
Probably not. I'm sure it's said that.
There's a big invasion of Belfast bands down there today, isn't it? There's like 3 bands?
It's 4.
Skypilot. Who else?
Rupturation.
Oh, Rupturation. Okay, yeah, cool. Are you looking forward to seeing any of those bands in particular?
I'm looking forward to seeing Lock Horns again. I hadn't saw them since Bloodstock last year, so I think they're on just before us.
Yeah.
Hopefully get the gear set up and catch a bit of our set before we go on.
Cool. In relation to yourselves, what kind of set have you in mind?
It's going to be only half an hour to play, so it'll be
all the hits
really. Stuff off the new album mostly, with 1 or 2 songs thrown in there that are just some older stuff,
And what's that album called, Riddick?
That album's called The Affront.
The Affront, yeah.
It is.
available on all streaming platforms, etc.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was your second full-length album.
Yeah.
Bit
of a gap between.
You did it in Bearcat Studios in Belfast.
Yeah. Been there 3 times now. We've done our EP before that. We did in Bearcat, and we went up and did a one-off sort of recording before that. So we've been there the last 3 times.
Right. So sure, look, it's better the devil you know.
Yeah, it's more kind of. I think it suits us better than previous places we've been. It's kind of more set up and play live rather than record everything individually.
Big room for the drums. So when the first song we recorded, we all recorded in the same room with a big set of baffles between us.
Right.
And this time, obviously, we did the drum tracks and that separately and all, but it's still it's spacious. You don't feel like there's no claustrophobic feeling there, So.
And Johnny Monroe, is it?
Yeah,
that's right.
He was he did post-production on it.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, start to finish. Yeah,
just it was fairly straightforward process. Been in the studio plenty of times before, so we know what we want this time, and it was just to try and keep it sort of as raw and as much like how we sound live as we can do. And it's nice and loud, and everything comes through nice and clear. I
think on our first album we overcooked it. We booked the full week to record. Right. And then basically another 3 weeks of then every evening sort of tinkering, and I think the more you tinker, the more you sort of kind of get away from what you originally recorded. Whereas this time it was just like with 2 weekends, get in and get it done. And we actually had time to spare. We weren't even in full days. It was like the recordings are just basically not. I don't want to say raw. That kind of sounds unprofessional, but they're not. It just sounds like us playing. So it's a closer sort of representation of what we sound like than possibly our first album.
There's a good family of you up there as well. You all help each other out as well, Do you want to comment on that, James?
Yeah, I think the scene up the north is it is very close to it. It's really good. I really notice it when I do the Metal to the Masses stuff in Belfast. A lot of the bands are very there's a lot of camaraderie between them all, and they seem to there's not a lot of rivalry. I mean, obviously everyone wants to go through and wants to do well, but there's a lot of good-natured, good-spirited banter, and even in previous years when bands had to share gear and stuff like that, there's been no kind of issues with that.
Yeah. Which is great,
Yeah, it's great. I think in general, I'm going to be a little bit biased, but I've always thought the northern scene is probably one of the best in the UK. I think just in terms of the variation of the bands, I think we're a little bit as an island, even within an island, I think we're a little bit separate. So a lot of bands develop more organically, and they develop a more kind of organic sound as well. And there's no one defining sound. We don't tend to do a lot of stuff that the mainland UK bands do as well, which I think is good. I mean, there's no, I think that helps us quite a lot. There's no defining, you couldn't sort of name a band that would be indicative of how all the bands sound. I think that's a good thing. It's very organic.
Have you just one main source there, Bearcat Studios, or have you a few options when you're looking?
There's plenty of other studio options, but obviously we know Johnny quite well. We've done stuff with him before. We recorded previous to that. We've done pretty much all of our stuff in a place called Einstein Studios, which is a really, really good studio. It was out in Antrim, and very professional in that. But again, this time we just, cause Johnny is obviously, he's very familiar with our music, we wanted to work with him because we'd done a couple of EPs with him and they sounded great, and this time it seemed to be the logical choice, so and obviously for any band at our level or whatever, starting out or anything, even and all that there, it's obviously fiscally conditioned as well. Depends on the finances and what you have to pay. Some studios are a lot more expensive than others because of the level that they're at. Some of these are very professional studios as well. Some of them are just startups, things like that. So it really just depends on that too. You have to factor in a lot of different things when you're sort of deciding where to record.
There's Zool Records as well are getting a lot of attention up there as well in Belfast.
It's not something particularly familiar with. I've seen the name pop up a few times now, but I think more and more
alternative, but it's another interesting project, we'll say, that has sprung up.
I think it's
out
good.
Of another band, I think.
I think you're doing they're starting to put on a few shows as well. I think maybe they're working
there's
with.
a lot of bands from Cork kind of going up there now to play in Zool. I suppose promotions as well,
Yeah. I've definitely seen the name pop up a few times now, and I think they work with maybe Shiznai. Up there, and they've done a few shows together, so it's certainly something you've seen a lot more of. A lot more kind of amalgamation of place, which is good. It's healthy.
What made you choose the first single, Super Duper Not? Why was that the first single? When
we recorded it just seemed to be a very obvious choice for a single. It was sort of well packaged, good pacey wee number. It just kind of. It definitely sums up everything we've done on the Affront in kind of one track, and there's it just seemed to be the standout track that we had when we recorded that we were very, very happy with.
It's probably the most obvious. It was the most obvious choice. I mean, I think we've been going so long. I think we're turning 18 this year. We're officially, as a band, we're an adult. We might not act like it, but we are.
Vote and drink
but
this year.
Over the years, people have kind of, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but they've kind of associated us with that kind of desert rock, really long songs, kind of, all about deep grooves and stuff. But if you're putting a single out, typically radios aren't going to play 7 or 8 minute long song, no matter how good it is. Or so Super Duper Not, it sort of represents what we do, who we are. It's also kind of probably one of the shorter ones. So
it's actually one of my favourites as well. I loved it. So you got Kerry Clark involved with filming it then. Did you have to twist her arm, or was?
I think we had to fully explain where Duke was for a start, because it's you could drive past it. You could drive through it in about 10 seconds. People don't realise they've been in it.
Follow your signs for the centre of the universe and you'll come to it every time.
on that, Kerry came in at really short notice. Because we sort of were trying to get the album launched, and was sort of a bit lackadaisical sometimes. James is trying to give us a wee push in the right direction. So Kerry came in at really short notice, and she edited that and put it together really, really quickly.
I think we
had to give her a massive
actually shot the video. Shot the video on a Sunday, and she had it with us Monday afternoon.
Jesus Christ, that was fast, man.
You couldn't ask for more.
And are you all contributing to the writing side of things?
We're very jam based. None of us would ever just kind of go, "Here's our new song."
We
don't. That's not the way we've ever worked.
Okay.
I don't ever think it would. It wouldn't sound like us if we did it. That way.
Can you just explain some of the titles as well, right? So there's Bergerac, right? Which I'm old.
That's an old one.
I'm old enough to remember Bergerac. I'm sure others don't. Right? He was a detective in
Jersey.
Jersey, correct.
There's a chord in that song just made me think that sounds like it could be the soundtrack about the opening titles.
The theme song.
It's just one chord. I don't know what. I couldn't even tell you what the chord is. I could play it, but I couldn't name it. One of those ones, and I went, "Ooh, that sounds like Bergerac." So
I think because of the way that we kind of come up with our music and write music, things like lyrics for us are kind of the last thing that we do. And if we could get away with being instrumental, we probably would try it, but it's just kind of not what we do. And I think sometimes when you're sort of just creating music from kind of a riff or something like that, it means that the song initially is not really about anything. So it's hard to kind of come up with a name. So sometimes the names can be a bit. Exactly. That should be clarified.
The song 5 Inches is because the night we started jamming that song, coming up with it, there was supposed to be 5 inches of snow falling in parts of the UK, so that's where that was on the news before we got the record, and that's where the song title came from.
The song Happy
it's
Helmet
not in
is
reference to anything else.
But like you have, like, I presume, did Mooncat go into Battle Cat?
No.
Or are they two different songs?
No. Battle Cat. Well, growing up, we all loved He-Man.
Okay, fair enough.
So we called the song. But if you're looking for a highbrow kind of explanation here, you're barking up the wrong tree.
And of course, then there's beautiful cheese and nacho as well.
Yeah,
that's legendary stuff.
Nacho
cheese
named
and nachos, of course.
Yeah.
Great combination.
Nacho Libre, and Gary loves cheese. So that's
that's
so
fantastic.
They're kind of all right, kind of comedy titles, I suppose, but they're. They've got absolutely nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Any content in the song, if you know what I mean.
And how was Bloodstock?
Fantastic. Easily the best experience that we've had as a band ever. Yeah. Easily. It was just a pleasure to be there, and then to be able to stay there for the entire duration of the festival from Thursday right through to Sunday was just fantastic.
It is a fantastic festival.
It was amazing.
There 5 years in a row. Did any of you go over there before?
That was our first time either as fans or a band going to Bloodstock, so it was a really brilliant experience, fantastic.
Where did you play? Jägermeister stage?
Jaeger stage. We did it on the Friday night, so
can't hide there,
totally. Yeah,
we were on last on the Friday, so we had we got to get an extra 10 minutes if you're last on, and it was good. But I think it was one of the best gigs.
Did that storm hit you at that stage, or was it okay?
That was the next day. It was so we were. Although as soon as we finished, they were starting to lash the stage to the ground because they were worried about it taking off. So it was something to sort of think about. But we managed to miss that, so that was okay.
Okay, cool. And did you travel over at all, James?
Sorry, I just got distracted there. What was the question?
Listen, let me put the whole thing. There's a hen party next door, and the lads are kind of over there.
15.
That's something I did not want to see.
How many was there, James?
15 feet to the right. There's a fully naked lad. I've just seen his. I've seen his.
There is.
So what? There's a fully naked.
He's standing on the stairs there, like the bum looking right at me. He turned around and seen some stuff.
All of the stuff that a gentleman didn't need to see unless it's his own.
They are not making it up.
Why are you not?
Well, I do treat you to you remember this one anyway.
You're not wrong, sir. You're not wrong.
We're going to demand this for interviews from now on. We need a naked lad over the side.
Uncircumcised as well.
Just to focus us,
He's not uncircumcised.
I don't want to look too hard, but
Did you ever go to Bloodstock, James?
I go every year actually. I sort of get passes from the Metal and Masses competition, so I've been the last 4 or 5 years in a row.
Right, yeah.
I just think it's the best run festival in Europe of all the ones I've ever been to. I think it's the only one that really truly supports grassroots bands in the UK and beyond now. I mean, there's a Metal and Masses Poland and Norway, and no one else is doing it to that extent. I mean, it's hard to overstate the importance of the New Blood stage when it comes to finding the next Metallica or Iron Maiden or Sepultura. I think it's absolutely vital, and no one else is doing it. And even the way Bloodstock handle their headliners, it's like picking Partway Drive on Sabaton and Gojira.
Judas Priest this year.
Priest, but I mean, they're the next generation. There's a lot of talk online about what's going to happen after Kiss and Iron Maiden and those bands retire. But Bloodstock are saying, here's Devin Townsend, here's Behemoth. They're making the choices now. It's almost like you're just looking down going, it's you, you're next, and they're bold moves, and I think that's great.
It is, and it's a fantastic vehicle as well for the likes of Irish bands going over there as well.
It's brilliant. I mean, the amount of Irish bands through the competition and just through the Jaeger stage that have played the last few years has been remarkable. And the privileges are the same, for Jaeger and for New Blood. You get VIP access. You get your day in the press tent.
And they film it as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
so you get that as well.
Yeah, it's
just fantastic for a band.
The thing about it, if you win the competition in any region, or if you're selected to play it, it's almost like Bloodstock are saying, here you are. Here's a massive opportunity, and it's what you do with it. And like we had, like I see your shirt there, 10-ton slug. You know, an incredibly talented band that have gone on and done metal days, and toured extensively. You know, the Crawl have done the same.
Well.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
they were brilliant.
last year.
Incredible.
Yeah, they
I
were
set the
great.
tone for the weekend because that was Thursday night, you know, before the festival really totally started, and Slug come out and ripped the head of the place, like.
And you just feel fucking proud.
Yeah.
Of your scene.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
Yeah, you really do. Like,
I always make, you know, north or south. We always make I always make a beeline whenever they're playing. You know, no matter which. You know, it's something I'm very, very proud of, and I'm very proud to be a part of it as well. But it's the opportunity that you're given. You know, you're given everything that, you know, that a professional touring band gets, and it's like, here you go, lads. You know, it's what you do. And like I said, the Slug and the Crawling have made, you know, huge just because of it. You know, again, it's like maybe that wouldn't have happened without Bloodstock, or it might have happened a lot more slower.
I think,
for those bands.
you're right. Yeah, it definitely happened quicker for them. Like, you know?
And it's brilliant. You know, I think, you know, it's just a huge gift that these bands get as a platform, because people remember your name, man. You know, you go around, you know, everywhere you go, you're seeing more and more. You know,
it's a nice enough festival as well that everything is close by. You're not
sized
really.
Yeah, it is.
I really like that. I do a lot of walking and stuff as a pastime, but when like you go to Download Festival, it's a 3-day camel ride and a pit stop to anywhere. Whereas Bloodstock is so close. I'm going to go back this year and take my son, 13, and I promised him to take him this year. He couldn't go last year, you know, but
that's a nice one.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, you do actually see. It's a great point. You actually see a lot of families there as well.
They do. So, you know, it's the next generation in every sense.
Yes,
you know,
that's important,
in terms of bands and the fans too. It's brilliant.
I like as well the fact that you're playing the Siege.
Yes, that's right. That'll be the second year in a row we've done it. So
unbelievable.
yeah, I know.
I never checked the stats. Is there many bands that get called back one year after the
again,
next,
it was last Easter was the first time. Last year was the first time we'd ever even been down to it. Much like the same as Bloodstock, and we had an absolutely brilliant time at it. Great reception, brilliant festival, brilliant bands, great bill, everything, the whole lot. And then this year we're doing it again.
Good Guinness.
Yeah, good Guinness. Yeah, good Guinness, good burgers. It was fantastic, you know. And I mean,
what stage did you play last year?
We were upstairs in the beer garden, I think it was, or whatever they called that particular stage, which was kind of good actually. That worked really well for us, you know, since it was our first time there. And then obviously there's plenty of bands from the north down at it, so you've got people about who you know and stuff and all that. And it just was a really great atmosphere all day. You know, it's amazing what they cram into one day.
It is.
And it's just incredible. You see the lit and you think, how are they actually managing that? And it runs so smoothly. It's just really good. Yeah.
The venue's fantastic as well. They're like the 3 different stages. You know, you sit out the front, grab a burger.
And you're always playing to a crowd.
That's correct. Yeah, it is. It's brilliant.
Do you travel down much for James?
Yeah, I love it, man. I think the Siege is brilliant. I went down with the guys last year. I went down with Rabbits in North a few times as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
I just think it's brilliant. I think John and Kieran have done a really, really, you know, good thing. I think the Limerick crowd, they don't have any pretensions at all. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. You know, they treat the bands the same. You know, it could be Metallica, or it could be, you know, some unknown band doing their first gig. They're just so enthusiastic.
But like in the advent of so many festivals now springing up everywhere, I mean, like the Siege has been there literally for it's nearly 19 years.
I think it's something like that.
But like they started like I think a lot of problems with these new festivals is you have to start small, lads. You know, don't go for the big one straight away.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, because they built it slowly. Their reputation just got better and better, and next minute, like it's a fucking national event for metalers to go to see.
I think it's a good point about festivals as well. I mean, I don't know about this year so much, but certainly in previous years, we had Full Metal Racket in Belfast, which has maybe overreached a wee bit in terms of what it could achieve. And there was one in Waterford as well. I think Primordial and Napalm Death played. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head, but it was the same thing. It was like a 2-day thing, and they brought a lot of bands over. You know, and it's a big financial outlay that they just can't match going forward. So you're absolutely right. You build it small, and you know, and it becomes a bigger thing. And that's what Siege has done. You know, with some great headliners down the years. You know, it's
and of
perfect.
course, how did the tour with Blind River go?
We obviously went over we know Harry from Blind River because we used to play. We toured with a few of his previous bands like End Level Boss and stuff when they came over to Ireland, and we it's been a long sort of relationship there over quite a long number of years. And then obviously when he got Blind River together, that was another connection. So there was an opportunity there to go and play with them over in London and around England and stuff. And then likewise we just kind of repay that and bring them over here. This will be the first time over, so we'll do Dublin, then Belfast, and then Siege, so it's really fantastic band,
really good live band.
They are
really good.
The first time I saw them was in Bloodstock, actually. They were playing the Sophie stage, I'm nearly sure.
Yes.
And they were throwing out frisbees. I actually still have a Blind River frisbee. But we met them afterwards then, and we watched some band. We were all just standing together. Lovely lads,
Yeah, the great lads.
They actually played Cork as well. But it was a good while ago. Might have been like you were down in Cork. Was it 2009? That's a long time ago.
11 years.
Yeah.
I don't like to oversaturate the market. I like to.
Keep them keen.
Keep them keen.
Yeah.
2009. It was probably with the End Level Boss.
It would have been. Yeah.
Last time we were here.
It was. Yeah. That's a long time ago.
I really love that band there. They were class.
They were brilliant band.
They were kind of rock, bit prog through in there. They just kind of kept you interested. No two songs are the same. But Blind River, they're it only kind of clicks for you when, well, for me, obviously I like them, but seeing them 3-4 nights in a row, you just go, man, these boys they're going to do some business. I think they're ones to watch. Definitely, they're going to they're going to do some damage.
So big energy on stage as well.
They're a good rock band.
Yeah,
they are.
That's just hair everywhere. That's where we fall down.
You will never walk away disappointed from watching them. Put it like that. They'll entertain everybody.
Package the two will be together then.
Well, they're coming back at Easter time. We're going to do Dublin, Belfast, and Limerick. Over the weekend of Easter. So
excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Like for the rest of 2020, what's your plans? Are you just going to tour?
We've got a few tours coming up, sort of dotted throughout the rest of the year. Back over to England and Scotland and possibly further afield, but we're just kind of working on that at the minute to see what we can do. We're also at the minute currently trying to sort of write some new material as well, because I think we're getting sick of the songs already, so we want to write something new and do some stuff, we just feel the need to do it, and we're progressing with that because we want to try and hopefully try and get some sort of new album or new release out as soon as possible.
Last time because we're a jam band, we have hundreds and hundreds of jams, mini discs. Now we're onto the digital era. We never did anything with them. We just twice a week we jam, we record it and move on. So James got us, so he hit us that kick in the arse and said, look, we need to do an album, so we had to start turning those jams into songs. And like all the last year, once we recorded the album, we didn't really jam. We're sort of rehearsing for different shows and tours. So start it in January again. We can still do a set once a night, get the jams, keep working those as we're going. But the last album was quite like the two nights we practiced before going into the studio. I had 2 songs I still hadn't finished the drums for. And the first, so I took all these, recorded it all, listened to it. The first time I played the drums was in the actual studio, song 5 Movements. So this time with 2 songs on the go at the minute, almost fully formed, so we're just starting to try and I think ideally would like to do them live and get them down, maybe change them and then go in the studio.
But that's how you kind of flesh it out and see how it kind of goes.
That's it. So looking at tour cycles as well, I kind of look at the album tour thing. It's kind of why I jumped in with these guys to sort of help them, because I think like we're talking about a new record. I'd like to see it maybe in April next year, so then that will be the Affront cycle pretty much finished. It'll be roughly 2 years. So with all the touring that they did last year, and then this year, like Roddick was saying, we're hopefully going to go to maybe Holland and Belgium and try to get something over there sorted out. Maybe Scotland over the summer, and hopefully back to England as well. So we're just I'm just kind of working on that with the guys at the moment. So
through the Bloodstock thing, you make connections. Obviously, that's part of what you're supposed to do when you're there. So there's a band from Nottingham. They're called Witch Tripper, 3-piece. They kind of do something similar to what we're at. They caught us in the Jaeger stage like this. Had a yarn to them after. We watched them the next day on the Sophie, and we're going to try and do like a 3 gig with them over there in the UK, and then 3 back.
It's actually band on today, Dog Tired as well.
That's right.
Well, we're gonna the guy, I think it's Paul, is his name. Is hopefully going to help with some of the Scottish dates. And maybe going to talk to them about maybe getting them back over later in the year. and stuff like that. So it's kind of making those kind of contacts, you know, and it's a happy coincidence that they're playing today. We get to see them in person, cool. And they get to watch each other band-wise, and you know, and see what kind of fit it is, and you know, and just generally, it's good to put faces to names, and you know, it's hopefully it'll advance things a bit more. But I know that's
the only way to do it. Sort of bands at our level, you know, you have to. You know, you help us, we'll help you, kind of thing. You know, a lot of bands from the UK would love to come to Ireland, but they've no idea where to start or what to do. And you know, James with the connections, or you know, people around here, they can go. Well, we'll get you 3 gigs in Ireland. You get 3 over there. You know, that's like, keeps it ticking over.
Like now that he's here, what do you think of James' contribution to the Belfast scene?
We'll talk about it later. That's fine.
To be honest with you, without overstating it, it probably wouldn't exist without him.
Okay.
And I know he gets embarrassed when you say things like that, but that's you know, it is the case.
Glad you asked them and not me.
Yeah.
Who's more redder, the guy that's naked or James?
James, definitely.
He's sitting on his. He's sitting on an armchair.
No, I think it's important to say that the metal scene as it is now and the strength that it has wouldn't exist without the efforts of James. You know, it just simply wouldn't. Couldn't have seen it being as focused and as kind of together as it is now. You know, and it's been a real kind of platform for a lot of bands to come through over the years. You know, who go on and do things or maybe don't. You know, and things like that. But the opportunities that are there in Belfast now for metal bands and rock bands and whatever other types of sort of things that James likes to put on. You know, that's it. The opportunities are there and it's fantastic. You know,
like a community is basically kind of growing around them, really. You know, to put it mildly.
It's very cool to hear that, actually, because it's not something I do think about it. It's great to be a part of it, but hearing it said back to me is an honour. You know, it really is. It's been 20 years now, and
you can pay me later.
I feel the same way about it as I ever did. You know, it's had its ups and downs like anything else, but you know, it's been very rewarding, and you know, I still love seeing new bands. I still love checking out new bands. You know, I love helping my friends.
Yes.
You know, achieve cool things. And you know, it's great to work alongside people that you really get on with and respect and like, and you know, like the Skypilot and Alabitsa North and the Crawling, you know, the long-term friends, and to be involved, you know, with their with helping them and their day-to-day activities is a real thrill.
Like ultimately, we still, no matter what we look at it, we're still an island, and we need the likes of like 4 or 5 spots for bands to move along up and down that country.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's definitely.
As I said before to James on it, and like when you're playing in a band, you go and you play the gig, you have fun. When you show up the gig to watch it, you have fun.
Yeah.
Same with James and all, and promoters and people who put bands doing the background. You know, you have a lot of stress, a lot of organising, a lot of money. And I've told him before, I don't understand the enjoyment he gets out of it, but he's a complete legend. And people like yourselves down here, any scenes and promoters that book bands and do that, so much stress, and I don't know how you can enjoy it a day sometimes when you're, you know what I mean, so it's greatly appreciated.
Cool. So that's it, lads. I can't wait to watch your set later, and thanks a million for weathering the storm and coming down to play for us as well today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, very good to meet you, man. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thank you.